Leaders, welcome to the Configure section in ChatGPT. Let's get right into this. ChatGPT model Configure section typically includes several key components that define the behavior, the knowledge base, like the mindset, how it talks, how it responds, and the interaction style of the model, so like their personality. These components are critical in creating an AI that meets your specific needs and also provides relevant and accurate responses. So let's get into a breakdown of what each component does and how it can be purposeful for you. So, of course, before you start, you need to have the paid version of ChatGPT. Okay, you cannot do this with a regular GPT free right off of the internet. You need to upgrade your plan. Here's why. It allows you to create and use custom GPs, and it also has the option of creating amazing images along with being able to upload files, vision, web browsing. It can do a lot more. Also, if you're now watching this video, probably it will upgrade in the future, but right now, ChatGPT has a memory bank where when you put in information, when you have a conversation, when you want something done a specific way, it will now remember it where you actually don't have to go into the back end like we're going to do today to configure to update it. However, it's always good to have a foundational memory bank in your ChatGPT so it always has a reference to fall back on, especially when it comes to new conversations, new strategies, and things that you want to implement, but also want to create from when it comes to your foundational model. Let's get right into this. We're going to go to the explore page of your paid plan of ChatGPT. There is so many, before we get into this, so many options if you don't want to create a ChatGPT that is customized to you and your brand. There's so much different options, and I feel like it's a great place to start. However, if you have a brand, if you have a business, if you are your own personal brand, you're going to want to create your own custom because it's a personality at this point, right? A brand is a personality. And with this personality, we want it to be fully all about you, your words, your vision, your values, your goals. So before you get into the configure section, there's one thing that you're going to need, and it's obviously information. So what information do you need specifically? If you have the personal branding workbook, the legacy branding workbook, these pages are perfect to upload. I created them to support you and make this whole journey very easy for you to just effortlessly upload files that you already put in the work in, put in the attention, and then now you can just simply upload it to create your assistant. So over here, we're going to click on the create, and that's going to take us to the window of our configure. So this is where we're going to create a whole new ChatGPT. Now we have the name section, and the name is given to your AI model. The purpose of it is to help identify specific things about the model, especially when you have multiple models and are being used to develop maybe simultaneous things, right? So for example, if we name this Yuri, and Yuri is just a copywriter, right? The brand copywriter. So Yuri's a brand copywriter. I might make a whole new model that is the brand Reels creator or Instagram Reels creator, content creator, because a copywriter can actually do different things. So let's get right into this. The instructions. The instructions is basically a detailed guideline on how the model should interact with the user. So the purpose of this is the instruction shapes the model's responses. It ensures consistency in tone, style, and relevance. If you watched a live workshop or any videos with AI prompt engineering from me, you already know there's this beautiful formula that we use to create outputs that are very aligned and are created effortlessly where you can actually have to work less. So the tone is something to be used. So, for example, genuine, insightful, trustworthy. Specific words or phrases to avoid. I definitely stay away from embrace. I definitely stay away from delve. What are some? Tapestry is one. Tapestry. Unlock. Uh, potential. Power. What else is another one that is used a lot? Infamous embark. Oh my goodness. Let's just keep it short for today. If you actually want this to go more in detail, I do have a live workshop that I run through this, but this is just to run through this configure section, keep it short and sweet so you know how to use your how to use your ChatGPT and formulate that effectively. So a tone to be used could be genuine, professional, educated, trustworthy. Again, these need to align with your brand voice. So that's from the workbook. The tone should align with the brand voice. Um, and then moving forward, the target audience that it's speaking to, very key. So with the target audience, you want to know what the preference is. Maybe it's mid-age women or career working moms. Let's do it even more niche down, single moms, right? You might want to align with any techniques your brand may have, any specialities your brand may have. For example, for me specifically, the techniques that I embed in my language is NLP, is hypnosis for engaging content. And I'm not hypnotizing anyone. However, there are hypnosis techniques that allows the reader to feel heard, to feel seen. And that's ultimately what I want to create when someone is reading my content. I want them to feel heard and seen. And NLP is such a beautiful technique to embody. So from there, let's keep it moving. We have conversation starters. This is predefined prompts or questions that the model can use to initiate or guide a conversation. The purpose here is that it helps with keeping the interaction smooth and engaging, and they are particularly useful in contexts where users might need to help get started or might be unsure of what to ask. So if I give you an example, this is where we'll have a beautiful example of a conversation starter. So I'm just going to choose on any given one. And right here, you're going to automatically see conversation starters. How about an inspirational quote, graphic, or social media? Make an Instagram post about a breathtaking sunset. So these conversation starters are usually for general use, just like Explore ChatGPTs. If you're making a custom ChatGPT and a custom assistant, you might want to get creative. And maybe there's something that you always ask that maybe you need help with. The way I use conversation starters sometimes is maybe I'll say brainstorm um, article ideas for single working moms, right? That can be one. Another one can be create a productivity plan for list some key paths and careers that single working moms can take. So as you can see, it's starting to build out, right? And when I click on this is our practice window, by the way. When I click on this, you get to see how it's responding in real time. So it's already using unlocking, right? That's a word we didn't want to use. But over here, just because I listed it there, it's actually using it. So this is where you want to get really clear on how you are giving your instructions. Communication is key, and I love using AI because it actually allows you to enhance your communication skills, especially when giving instructions. So do not use. Then you put that there, and right now it just updated. So now when I go back to click on this, you're already going to see it go to work. It does not use the words anymore. You don't see that here, right? So these are 10 article ideas for single moms, and it kind of breaks that down. Now, if you really want to go more into detail, you can always let it be known that you want the format to be, should be heading, 3 points, and a summary with examples. Let's see what it comes up with now. Now we're going to click that here. Already, this is how I programmed it. So if you want to use it strictly for a specific task, this is perfect to give it that specific thing. However, if you want to do more general, then you're not going to want to put a format instruction here. You're going to want to do it in the live box where it will then format it for you. However, this is perfect because when I have my article, a draft writer, this is how I usually do it because it helps me curate some ideas. It helps the juices flowing on what I can talk about more of. So as you can see, it definitely followed the instructions. It's not using any of the words I listed, and it's giving me examples in the end. My favorite part is the knowledge. The knowledge is the information and data that the model is trained on. And the purpose of this is that it forms the backbone of the model's responses. So think about the personality, the experience. You see how in humans we have our knowledge from our experience and what we do? Well, this ensures that the AI can provide accurate, up-to-date, and relevant information. So you're always going to want to upload files here and just drag any files you may have, upload files and drag any files that you may have that you want to embed in your content creation. So this, outside of the example I'm using, I like to update it with my business plan, my marketing plan, my strategy, things like that. Any back-end articles I've read, any back-end articles I've written that I wanted to apply, especially if you have a journalistic mindset where you want to have resources and references of actual peer-reviewed documents and files. This can include databases, recent articles, industry-specific information, and so much more. And you can also toggle with the capabilities. So for this exactly, you don't want your brand copywriter to be able to do image generation. So you can just click that off. And maybe you wanted to actually browse the web and find an article about a topic or something. So you want to keep that on. So this is for code interpreter and data analysis. This bottom is more so for users who are really more so working with code and allows to run code. So this is essential and basic introductory, so I will not talk about this. However, you can go on and do your own research or ask ChatGPT about it on the side if that is what you feel called to do. Now, if you're watching this, this is a new feature that's been uploaded to ChatGPT, an amazing feature that I will go deeper into when it comes to the immediate coding of ChatGPT. However, this is for, again, immediate and professionals. Basic introductory can be applied. However, we're not going to go into this today, but feel free to play around with it if you'd like. I do not want to give you something that's going to overwhelm you. I'd rather give you information that you can perfect here from now, get used to these options that you have, play with it, get to know it, brainstorm with it, and then add on to your knowledge bank and create something phenomenal. Speaking of creating, this here is a beautiful chatbot. If you ever had any worries of what you're creating and want to make sure that you wanted a very substantial brand copywriter or anything at that, you're going to want to ask it some information. So this information would be, I need help with creating the perfect brand copywriter for single working moms. And then it's going to help you really get clear, right? Let's start by refining the behavior to ensure it meets your needs. Role and goal. The ChatGPT should be a brand copywriter who creates compelling and engaging copy for single moms. Now, this right here is a great way to configure your ChatGPT, okay? The moment you say okay to this and you want to do this and you want to create it, you want to copy and paste this over into the instructions and you just updated your ChatGPT. Then from there, you can add on don't use words, embrace, embark, delve, right? And then go from there. So this is a great co-creator. If you don't have the personal branding workbook, you can always go back and forth with this to get what you need done over here easily. The reason why I definitely recommend co-collaborating with the personal branding workbook is because it's going to give it more of an intrinsic personality. This is still generic. This is still going to give you general things, but if you really want your brand, your assistant to sound like you as it's creating content, you're going to want to get real special. And that's what that personal branding workbook is going to do for you. It's going to pull out some things you never thought of, and it's going to create an identity that nobody can really duplicate because of the prompts and instructions that you give it from a very authentic and genuine place. Here at House of Gold, we want to create genuine and authentic things that create longevity, prosperity, and tune us into a timeline of success. And this is a perfect tool to do just that. So if you have any questions after this, let me know. But from there, you're going to want to create. From here, maybe you only want yourself to use this. You can also share this, and you can also share this up to the ChatGPT store where it'll be up in the Explore section. So for me, I only want to use this for myself as I do not want to share my brand with anyone. I do not want nobody to have something that is mine. And then now we can really get to work. Welcome, Yuri, the brand copywriter. And this is how it looks like when you create it. And it's such a beautiful tool to have when it comes to whatever it is you're doing in your life. Be sure to check out the live workshop video. I go very much in detail, step by step, and even play around with some examples that might spark your mind and your creativity on how and what you can create with your AI assistant. So happy you're here. Glad that you came through and are learning and applying yourself and making yourself top priority to really discover new skills on how you can create legacy, longevity, and success in your life for the future. My name is Golden Johnson. I am so glad you're here, and your growth is my success.